Hello everyone and welcome to the 12th episode of this Building a Micronation series. We have built a lot of stuff already, the micronation keeps growing, we got a pretty high population count living in 3 villages, a town and the capital city. In today's episode we are moving to this island on the east of our nation and we're going to build a custom airport there. So the location of the airport is here on the top right of the map, and this highway here conveniently leads to the capital city. Also, there's not too many people living around in this area, so I think this is the perfect location for the airport. As always, I'm skipping a little bit through the build. Today's build took me around 4 hours to complete and I cut that down to 25 minutes for you. I already started preparing the island with moving the shipping lanes around because we're going to build a bridge for the highway and a railway to connect to the island, and here I'm terraforming the island so we have some flat terrain to place the runway. I'm creating this custom airport because I think the current airport options we have in CS2 are not too realistic. The runway is way too short and it just doesn't look too realistic in my opinion. So let's start building. I started with drawing here where I would like the runway to be. First I made the runway a realistic 3 kilometers long, but looking through it from a distance I thought a little bit shorter and therefore maybe not 100% realistic looks a little better in the game. At least for this map. Once I placed it down I started drawing the taxiways. And now we can start filling this up with these surfaces. I'm using 2 different kinds of concrete. The first one for the runway and the second one for the taxiways. And on the corners I make like little edges, so it's not all super straight and simple. There's some more interesting shapes to it. On the side of the taxiways I still have the road. I'm going to delete that of course in the end, but for now it's just a reference to see what is a straight line. Here I'm placing the runoff area at the end of the runway, and then it's time to start painting all the stuff, all the lines on the runway. And I think this was also the process that took me the most time of the whole build. About 45 minutes to an hour. So we're skipping through that. Also using these dirt roads again to see where we are. So to have a reference where to place the lines exactly. What is the middle of the runway, what is the side, how long should we make the lines, etc. Then in the middle of the runway we're going to put this dirt road, we're going to make these center markings, center line, how do you call it? And of course all the other extra details like these numbers here at the end of the runway. So with everything placed down, this is what it looks like from a distance. I also put some stains on some part of the runway and I filled the taxiways with all their markings. So with the runway and taxiways completed, it's time to start building the actual airport buildings. And again, placing these 2 planes here to see a little bit what the actual size is, where we should draw everything and how big we should make the platforms and everything. Also, this was quite a time-consuming process, so I enjoy this time-lapse where you can see me build, and from time to time I will come back to you to tell you how I did everything and why I made certain choices. Here I'm searching for the buildings I want to place. This one is actually from the airport itself, the business terminal. And I placed this police headquarters, but it doesn't really look too nice next to it. So searching for another building, and I think this one fits actually quite well. So we put that next to it and delete the police headquarters. And just use this building as the airport main terminal. And I put some extra details in the front and the back of the building with some office buildings because they look actually quite modern, so they fit pretty nicely, I think, into this build. And I make everything white, grayish, windows are black. Oh, and by the way, if you're still watching at this point, you probably think it's an interesting video. If you want to see more of this and support me with creating these kind of videos, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. Then it's time to place these airplanes to see where we can park them in front of the building. And adjust the terminal also a little bit to where the airplanes are. And then I draw all the details of the last parts of the taxiways, or actually of the aircraft parking spots. And to give everything some extra detail, we're using these surfaces everywhere. It makes it look like everything is not completely perfect and the grass is not the same everywhere. And then we head back to the airport where we start building the cargo terminal. And this is also actually one of the buildings that is already used in the airport of the base game. But we're just going to customize it a little bit. And of course we also need to connect the airport to the road network. So here we are drawing our first roads. And also here I'm detailing everything manually, because we really have to build everything from scratch. Placing down these palm trees to create this little more luxurious look, or also when you come back to Rikland it looks nice and tropical here, because actually Rikland is in a pretty tropical area. It doesn't really get cold here, so the perfect place for palm trees to grow. And we're going to connect the airport also with a train station here. I'm upgrading it to this more modern building. Fits more to the scenery here. And also here we're going to detail the ways that lead to the train station up a little bit. Of course, an airport also needs a firehouse. Placing this one down for that, because it's not too big. And we make a custom road leading to the parking space and the taxiway for the fire brigade vehicles, for the fire trucks to easily access the whole airport. Then this is also one of the entrances for vehicles to enter the airport. So we're going to make this little entrance here with a security post and detail the area up even more. At an airport you always find a lot of different vehicles to maintain the whole airport, so this is the little parking spot where all our service vehicles are parked. We have some cars to clean the runway, here's some trucks to provide the airplanes with fuel, some little trucks, I don't know, for anything, some buses, you name it. We still need to connect this island up to the mainland, so that's what we're doing over here. I'm creating a little extra terrain here to place some for the first part of the highway, and then we're going to make a bridge for the highway and also for the railway. So now everything is connected, it's time to do the last few details. Here we make a little field of grass with some bushes around it to not only have a big forest around the airport. Of course, we also need to create a district. So this will be Rikland International Airport. And also the island needs to have a name. So we're creating a district around the island as well. And the island is going to be called East Bay Island. It is possible to make this airport function in the game also with creating some paths for the runway and taxiway. I tried to do that as well, but there are still a lot of bugs in the game that make it look not too realistic. For now I want to keep it like this. Maybe in the future I will update this area so it can actually function, but I just like the look of it right now, so I keep it like this. And the last detail I place is this firehouse watchtower. It should function as the air traffic control tower because I don't have another option to place, sadly. So we have to do it with this now. And that is also the end of the episode. I hope you liked this build. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you really liked the video, I would also really appreciate it if you could leave a like on it. For now, enjoy the cinematics. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you at the next one.